What's going on, people? Welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream today. And we don't need no Monday Arsenal therapy today. It wasn't a bad weekend, to be fair, when it comes to Arsenal. 3-0 victory away at Sheffield United. They say you can only beat what's in front of you. And we beat what was in front of us, to be honest. I think Sheffield United look like a team that is going to be in the Championship next year. No disrespect to them, but they didn't offer a lot. Man's on time, people. Come on, it's Monday. Lockdown's finishing in England today. People are out shopping. I've been to the gym this morning. You know what I mean? We're free, man. We got freedom in the UK right now, so we're happy. I'm on time, people. Omar's even saying I'm early. You know what I'm saying? Hope everyone's well and safe wherever you are. Big up everyone in the chat. And thank you very much for tuning in. We're going to look back on yesterday's game only briefly. There's not loads to talk about, but there are a few talking points that came out of that game, especially as we're going to look ahead later on in the week to the game against Slavia Prague, which is obviously, listen, that game is going to be Scenes FC to the fullest because our whole season is riding on that game, even from a point of view of not only of being an Arsenal fan, but of making content. I'm looking at it going, boy, if we get knocked out, and we've got a load of Premier League games that don't really mean too much, it's going to be a real flat end to the season, man. So I really do hope that we win. Omar said, any Champions League watch-alongs? Yep. We're going to do PSG against Bayern, and I was looking at that second day, the Wednesday, because obviously you got Liverpool, Real Madrid and Dortmund, Man City. Now, I was thinking, do Liverpool, Madrid, but do people kind of feel like that tie is over? Would you rather see Dortmund, Man City? Maybe I'll put it on the community page. But yeah, I will be doing Champions League watch-alongs. Tomorrow night, I'll do PSG, Bayern Munich. On Wednesday, I mean, Liverpool could still turn it around, but I don't really see it happening. But yeah, I'll be doing Champions League watch-alongs anyway. Great timekeeping. I'm telling you, people, I'm back. People saying Man City. I'll put it in the community. You guys can vote, and I'll do whichever one you pick. I think most people think that Madrid are through already and that Liverpool are done. So maybe we'll do something else. But yeah, there you go. And then obviously Thursday, Arsenal. So nothing tonight, and then 3 watch-alongs the next 3 days. Big up everyone for tuning in. Smash a like, subscribe if you haven't already. Shafi said, Ramadan starts tomorrow. Arsenal better not increase the stress on Thursday. I'm telling you, man. You guys, obviously, who do Ramadan and stuff, I know obviously you don't eat a lot of the day and stuff. You don't need the stress of Arsenal adding to that. So hopefully they don't mess up. I don't know why. I just think we're going to go through on Thursday. And I'm not often overly optimistic about Arsenal. I just got a feeling we're going to beat them. I think it'll be a tight result, but I think we'll nick it 2-1, something. I think something will happen. PSG game definitely not over because Bayern Munich battered them in that first game with no Lewandowski. If he's back, they could definitely beat them. Big C, happy to see the UK opening up. Oh, man, I woke up this morning like, yo, I'm going gym. No home workout downstairs doing, prison workouts, with a couple dumbbells and a few sit-ups and press-ups, man. It's just not the same. So I loved it, man. It's amazing the things you take for granted until they're taken away from you, I was in the gym, DMX album on blast, I felt like a madman in there. But yeah, let's quickly look back on yesterday's game. And let's we'll do the player ratings. Hebby said, watching Arsenal on an empty stomach is a recipe for disaster. I'm telling you, man, the process is cold. We moved from 11th to 9th. Yeah, it's not worth doing a parade about, is it? Let's put it that way. So Arsenal beat Sheffield United by 2-1. 3-0, sorry. We're on about 2-1. 3-0. And we dominated the game. We were the better team. Sheffield United looked dreadful to me. They just look like they've given up. They probably want the new season to start in the Championship. They'll probably have an opportunity of winning the Championship or doing well. So they look like they were lacking motivation. I love going out to the Caribbean. People in St. Vincent, man. Obviously, they're going for a very tough time over there, man. Prayers out for them. Lewandowski's out for a month. Wow. PSG may get through. But we're going to do the play ratings. I had a little look at this before I even started, and I thought it's not the easiest of player ratings to do, because sometimes when you've beaten a team that is terrible, you don't want to get carried away with the ratings and be like 8, 9, 10, that you were all brilliant, because you kind of you're subconsciously thinking, well, the opposition are not offering a lot. So, for example, I look at the goalkeeper and the defense and I think, all right, you kept a clean sheet, so you all deserve a decent rating. But Sheffield United offered barely anything in the attack, so it's kind of hard for me to give them really high ratings. But still, I know you've got to beat the team that's in front of you. This is still a Sheffield United that beat Manchester United away from home. Big up my boy Broads in the cup, man. He said 10th place parade, anyone? Yeah. There'll be a bus travelling past the Emirates today, man, waving a number 10 around on the top floor. It's crazy. Big up Broads, man. Go and check out his channel, people. Heaven Angel said, I still trust the process. It takes time. I mean, how much time, man? We'll see on Thursday, man. We'll have that discussion about 10 o'clock Thursday after that game's finished. Mikel is in the chat. Yeah, it makes sense, man. He needs some advice. I'll give it to him. But let's go through the player ratings, people. Chuck your comment in the chat, what rating you'll give each player. We'll figure it out somehow where we're at. Let's start with Bernd Leno in goal. Didn't have much to do, in my opinion. He didn't do anything wrong. I can't remember him doing anything exceptional. No great saves or anything. It's got to be a 6, I would say. I knew you must have been trolling, about trust the process. But yeah, I'll probably go 6. I wouldn't give him a 5. He kept a clean sheet. I don't think he did anything wrong. I remember the ball coming to him once and he could have just caught it and he punched it out. But yeah, I'll give him a 6. I thought he was steady. David saying 7, Paul saying 5. Should have caught the ball instead of punching. But he didn't. It wasn't a major mistake. See how West Ham trusted Moyes? I mean, Moyes got the job the same time as Mikel, and he's having a better season, though. We should be doing better than they're doing in that sense. I'll give Leno a 6. Awful keeper. Are people turning on Leno? Does Mikel forget he has a backup keeper? Listen, I thought Matt Ryan should have played yesterday. I thought he had an opportunity to start in a game that wasn't overly competitive. But it just seems like he's not going to get a kick. So we give Bernd Leno a 6. Let's go to Calum Chambers at right back. What do you make of Calum Chambers? He was steady, played a role in a few decent moves, helped Pepe get forward a little bit. He was steady. I'm kind. Do you know what? I'm going to give him a. Did he play at a 7? I don't know. I saw Burke running once. But he kind of got back. Chambers is mid-table level. I would agree with that. It's like a 6.5, Cafu Chambers, Oh my days. More, yeah, not quite. He was solid. It's a 6, innit? I can't give him more than a 6. It's very difficult for me to give him more than a 6. Chambers done all right. He was steady. Let's go to the left back. Roberto Carlos Part 2. The rebirth of Roberto Carlos, Granit Xhaka. I couldn't believe it when I saw the way we set up and Granit Xhaka was at left back. And we're going to talk about him playing at left back later on, because Mikel Arteta says that he can develop to become a top left back, apparently. Listen, I don't quite see that. You put him against Mo Salah, Riyad Mahrez, a right winger with pace and skill. And I think it's a long day at the office for Xhaka. But I'm going to give Xhaka a 7, because, listen, he did well on the ball. And he's not a left back. And he was solid. I'm just gonna be positive for him. He did do decent out of position. But I'm not going to get carried away. I'm bantering more than anything. Roberto Xhaka at left back. The Swiss Roberto Carlos. Bread is bread, as Mourinho says. Bread is bread. What a fantastic argument that was with Mourinho and Solskjaer. Solskjaer said that Son tried to con the ref, and if his son did that, he wouldn't feed him for a few days. Mourinho then said, what did he say? Bread is bread and cheese is cheese. You can't beat that. I love that kind of thing in football, man. Seriously, I love those kind of arguments, man. Some people don't like it. They think it's petty, but I love it. Curtis, a revived Xhaka fan. You lot better relax it, though. You lot been slandering me with this Xhaka talk the last few weeks. But no, I'm giving him a 7 just for banter more than anything, you know. Ollie is a savage Viking, I'm telling you. Nothing by arse of Jose. Them two don't like each other, do they? You know, Jose probably just looks at Ollie and thinks, you've got my job that I wanted, you know. Rashford will feed Ollie's son, I'm telling you. Big up real captain, better late than never, man. Jose is well and truly finished. I don't think he'll be at Tottenham for too much longer. Let's go with the centre-backs. Pablo Mari and Holding. Would you give him the same rating, or do you think one of them played better than the other? I would probably give them both a 6. I just don't think... It's very difficult to give any defender a high rating. I'm giving Xhaka a bit of a higher rating for banter, really, you know? You want a Jose? I mean, listen, Jose is definitely having a tough time. But are you telling me that Arteta's better than him? I mean, I don't know. I still think I would still put Jose ahead of Arteta. That's just me, to be honest. But I understand the slander. I get it from all corners. Don't worry, I can take it. 6 for the squad fodders, as I call them, both squad fodders. I mean, Pablo Mari's probably better than Holding, but yeah, 6 for the squad fodders, man, both of them. Bobby Baldini, giving him a 7. Nice retirement payout for Jose. Yeah, they'll sack him. He'll get, you know, he's on what? 15 million a season. He'll leave. He'll end up he'll go back to Portugal or he'll go to the MLS or something. He's chilling, man, anyway. He's chilling. What does bread is bread mean? I mean, I think it means that bread is bread. Bread is bread, man. Cheese is cheese. Mari is better. Jose must go. Dressing room is toxic, according to reports. You love to see it, man. Listen, if you're going to appoint Mourinho, you've got to give him the tools. He needs better defenders. You know, he had Eric Dyer at centre back. It ain't happening. Bread is bread, my friend. That is an absolute banger by it. One thing I will say about Mourinho is box office. Do you know what I mean? Like when Tottenham lose, you want to see his press conference because you know he's going to be on smoke talking some madness. You know, he's definitely box office. Jose over Arteta all day long, man. I don't care. I'm saying it. Noodles are noodles, man. I'm telling you. And let's go to Mr. Noodles, Mr. Thomas Partey. Now, it's funny, you know, I've seen some mixed comments about his performance yesterday. I thought he was quality yesterday. I know it's only Sheffield United, obviously. But I thought he played well. The little turn he did for the assist for Lacazette was fantastic. I've been waiting to see that for ages. I thought it was quality, great through ball. Like, even here, look, Polymation saying 5. 5 out of 10. Some of you saying 6, 7. Indomie Partey, 8. He was funky. Oh, was some racially abused? I mean, this is the thing, man. I mean, we're constantly talking about this, but it's ridiculous, you know, with these social media platforms, man. Just don't protect people, you know. No accountability. People just set up these fake accounts and say whatever they want. It's ridiculous. Partey 7 did fine. Some of his passing was shocking. That turn and assist, though, 7. Great turn for Laka. Still gave away sloppy passes. 7, 8. I'm going to only scraps, though, Curtis. All right, I'll give him a 7. Do you know what it was? Sometimes you guys probably see the game better than me because when I'm doing the watch-along, I miss a lot of little bits where maybe he's given a ball away or something. Do you know what I mean? I watch the highlights after, but actually, sometimes I watch the whole game back after the stream. But because it was Sheffield United, I was a bit like, you know what? I'm not watching the whole of that. So I'll give him a 7. Fantastic through ball to Laka. We need to see more of that. Curtis Thomas is a box-to-box. He's a DM/box-to-box. He isn't Tony, Kroos, or Modric. Curtis, Aaron's or Hakimi, who's more realistic? I would say Aaron's. Hakimi will be very difficult to get. They're about to win the league. Inter Milan. Jarman said, I miss you, Kurt. It's good to be back. Had exams there. I hope they went well, man. Appreciate your support. We only played a weak team. Yeah, Ricky says, big up, Curtis. Why do you think Arteta never plays Mari and Gabriel? I heard lots of ex-players and defenders saying it could work. They're probably the better centre-backs we have. I've said it numerous times, and the thing that some people say is that you can't play two left-footers, which I never understand, because you'll see two right-footed centre-backs play together, and it's not a problem. I'm shocked that he has never played those two together. Because you would probably say they're our two best centre-backs, although David Luiz has probably been our most consistent centre-back this season. I would like to see Gabriel and Pablo Mari. Big up Desmond. Good morning, Curtis. Just tuning in. It's 8:30 a.m. here, bro. Wow, early morning. Danny Ceballos, what do you make of the spinning top yesterday? Wonderful little flick for Lacazette's first goal. I thought he was solid. I just hope Mikel Arteta doesn't get too gassed off that and start talking about signing him on a permanent deal. Do you know what I mean? Because I think this is the worry with Arsenal. It's always a bit like, I'll praise you when you do well, but don't get carried away. Do you know what I mean? Danny Ceballos did well. I thought he was steady on the ball. Fantastic assist. I'm going to give him a 7 for the assist. The assist was magic. You know, I'm spinning around, move out of my way. Kylie Minogue settings, people. Danny Ceballos, the spin top. I thought he was good, to be fair. I'll give him a 7. Fantastic little flick into Alex Lacazette. Let's go to Bukayo Saka, who played in the 10 role yesterday. Didn't really suit him, I didn't think, Saka. You know, it's true, but I do consider the opposition, you know, they are poor. So I ain't going to start going mad and giving people 10s. I think Saka was average yesterday. He came off with an injury. I hope it's just the collision and not actually a muscle injury. But I didn't think he was great. Wasn't bad, but didn't really excel in the 10. Yeah, I'd give him a 6. Some of you saying 5, 8, 7. I'll give Saka a 6. Saka has been poor recently. He has had some quiet games. I've got to admit, his form has definitely dipped a little bit. I'm scraping a 6 for him, you know, but I didn't think he was great. Feels a dead leg. And then the rest of you guys giving him a 6. Yeah, I'll give him a 6. Let's go with Nico Ross-Clark Pepe on that right-hand side. I thought he was lively. First half, I was a little bit frustrated. I didn't think he was getting at the fullback enough. Second half, I thought he was better. His shot created Martinelli's goal was a bit more direct. Still want to see a little bit more from him. That run that he goes on, I want to see that 5 or 6 times a game, where you get that fullback one-on-one and go at him. Still, for me, sometimes he waits. Keep running at him. You're dangerous. You got good feet. Be more direct. Liam said, Pepe looks clumsy, loses the ball all the time, but has good end product. I just want to see more positivity from him. Got better as the game went on. Borderline 7. I'm going to give him a 7. And it is a borderline. It's not like 7.9 and you were brilliant. It's like 7.1 and you just about got there. But I want to see more from him. I think he needs to have that belief from the manager that I'm going to get picked in the biggest game. Subconsciously, Pepe's probably thinking, I'm going to get dropped on Thursday. Do you know what I mean? For the biggest game of the season. Gabriel Martinelli. I was just so happy to see him in the starting lineup. A player that we need to use more. A player that we need to have in the team more. And I enjoyed his performance. He hasn't started for a long time. I like the fact that he was running at their fullback constantly, which is what I want to see from Pepe, more aggression. You got to think we had that like lopsided formation where we were playing Xhaka like left back. So like you're saying here, great point, cousin. He said Gabby had no overlap in left back, which, you know, helps to pull a defender away to give you space. I thought Martinelli was class yesterday, got better as the game went on. Thought he was injured, but he managed to run it off. Got himself a goal. Brilliant performance, considering his first game back. I'll give him an 8 out of 10. I thought he was very solid, very aggressive. And listen, we'll talk about it later in the week, obviously. But Martinelli, for me, on Thursday, if he's fully fit, If there are no problems from this game, I would like to see him starting. I would like to see him starting on Thursday. I don't want to see Aubameyang on the left. I don't want to see Willian on the left. Give Martinelli the start. We need players who can run at people, you know. The striker, Lacazette. I have to admit, this is a little bittersweet for me. If we're looking at this as an isolated game, Lacazette was fantastic. You've got to give him man of the match. He took both them finishers brilliant. He was in the penalty area a lot more. I'm going to give him a 9 out of 10 as a striker. You scored. They were both quality finishers, and I'll give him the 9. Yeah, but I've still got Thursday in my head, and I know I shouldn't. Let's just look at it as one game. Yeah, you got 9 out of 10. You played well. When he's finishing them chances, you think to yourself, this is the problem with Lacazette, because on Thursday, biggest game of the season, you missed that chance and didn't look convincing. Against Sheffield United, with no pressure, you're whipping things in the bottom corner, you know. He's got to perform on Thursday. He has to perform on Thursday, Lacazette. But yeah, for this game, he was skipper. I'll give him a 9 out of 10. He deserves it. Like a blood clot set is saying 9. He was good. He's a quality player, Lacazette. He's a quality player. There's no doubt. But yeah, that Lacazette comment that we always throw at him, we can't see that on Thursday. If he starts, we can't afford to have our striker in the middle of the pitch. We need goals on Thursday. We need, we need a striker that's hungry for a goal. He was hungry yesterday. Lacazette the prick 9. Oh, man, I'm never going to live that one down, man. But, yeah, we'll turn it into a joke. Can he do it on a Thursday in Prague? Well, we're soon going to find out. So there's your player ratings. Obviously on the bench, apologies. Let's do the bench quickly. Who did we even bring on? We brought on Willian, El Neni, and Nketiah. I mean, I can't remember any of them doing anything. I'll give them all a 5. But yeah, there we go. Player ratings. So obviously you can see the title was should Lacazette start on Thursday? Obviously the biggest game of the season. Do you know what I mean? Biggest game of the season. Now, the funny thing was, after Thursday, most people were saying, you've got to start Aubameyang on Thursday. Lacazette's kind of messed up an opportunity, and you've got to play Aubameyang. Aubameyang was out with flu. He misses the game yesterday. Lacazette scores too. I think Lacazette has probably played himself into a start now on Thursday, and I can't see Aubameyang starting. I think Aubameyang will be on the bench. The fact that he hasn't trained since the game, and Arteta said in the press conference he expects him to be out for a couple more days. I think Lacazette will start. But the interesting thing is going to be who plays around him. Obviously, Xhaka came off yesterday with a knock. From what it looks like, I think he'll be all right for Thursday, but will he be 100%? I think we're a better team when we have wingers who are direct, who can dribble, who can run with the ball, i.e. Xhaka or Martinelli or Pepe. Those are the 3 wingers. When we play Willian, who doesn't run at defenders anymore, when we play Aubameyang, who's not a great dribbler, in those wide positions, I don't think we look as good. And you make a great point here, Oz. He says, big up Curtis, do you think we look more balanced without Aubameyang? I just think when Aubameyang is in the team, we have to play a certain way. And I think the way that we need to play for Aubameyang, I don't think we're particularly good at it. I don't think we create good chances for him. I don't think we get him one-on-one with, the goalkeeper, little through balls over the top, early passes. I think we're too slow. And I think Lacazette can play that game because he can hold the ball up and wait and draw people to him and allow his attacking players to get around him. The problem is with Lacazette when he starts playing like a midfielder, and we just cannot afford that on Thursday. So it's going to be an interesting one. He's going to have a big decision to make. I mean, this could literally change our whole season, whoever he picks. I think because of Aubameyang being out with flu and Lacazette scoring 2, I would expect him to start Lacazette. After Thursday, for me, I was saying definitely play Aubameyang, but You know, like you said, I don't want to see Aubameyang on the left. That is one thing. Do not shoehorn those two into the team. Unless you're playing two up front, I don't think those two can play in the same team at the moment. Just wanted to look at a couple of things, obviously, that have happened. Obviously, this came out yesterday. Lacazette scores his 50th goal in the Premier League for Arsenal. Now, big up Lacazette. I do think Lacazette is a talented footballer. 124 matches, 50 goals, 23 assists, 73 goal contribution in 124 Premier League games, which isn't bad. But I think the problem is 50 goals in his, we're nearly at 4 seasons. You're talking about 12 and a half goals a season. That is not prolific enough. You might get 12 goals out of like a Chris Wood at Burnley, or, there are strikers at Neil Mopé or whatever. You know what I mean? Them strikers at that kind of level can get 10 or 12 goals. For £50 million, a French international, I don't think 50 goals is enough in 124 games, Considering he plays for Arsenal, considering the first season, he was our number one striker. Even the second season, half of that season, he was the number one. And I don't think it's enough. And do you know what it is? I think Arsenal are going to have a very difficult decision to make in the summer, because I think the club really like Lacazette, and I think the fans like Lacazette, and apparently he's very popular in the dressing room. The club are probably looking at it as well and saying he's going to be difficult to replace because there's such a lack of quality strikers that are available that they may just take the easy option and give him a new contract. But those numbers are underwhelming. I've got to be honest. They are underwhelming. As you say, Omar, Aubameyang hit 50 in 2.5 years. Lacazette hitting 50 in four years. So, I mean, Lacazette is having his best season. He's currently on 13 Premier League goals. His highest ever goals tally is 14 in the league, which was in his first season under Arsene Wenger. He got 13 in the season under Emery when he won Player of the Year. I would expect him to get, close to 20 league goals this year, which then does put the club under pressure. But I've always said, for a guy that is 30 this summer, already on 150 grand a week, he's going to want a pay rise. I just think it's too risky for Arsenal. Can you imagine going into a situation where you've got Willian, who turns 33 this year, on nearly £200,000 a week, Aubameyang, who turns 32 this year, on 300,000 a week, and then Lacazette, who turns 30 in the summer, on maybe 180, 200 grand. I think that's bad business, which is sad because, listen, I like Lacazette. He's just that 5-6 goals a season short of where he needs to be. And I think they're going to have to be strong and make a decision that it's not enough. It's not enough. Those, you can't lie, you can't hide from numbers. And those numbers tell you that he's not quite good enough. As much as I rate him as a player, he's not quite good enough. Big up School Fuggery, people. Anybody wants any work doing, thumbnails, work on, if you've got an upcoming YouTube channel, anything, go and check out my boy School Fuggery on Twitter or Instagram. He's been helping me with my channel. Big up School Fuggery. He said Lacazette hasn't even been massively injury hit. He's just not massively fiery. I mean, Lacazette came to this country as a gunman striker. You know what I mean? And we're now looking at him as a false nine. We're now comparing him to Firmino, going, yeah, but look at the link-up play and that. Is that because that's his natural game, or is that because he couldn't be a goal machine in this country? And I think it's more the latter, Good player, but those numbers are not good enough for 50 million. They're really not. I think you could sign a striker for 10 or 15 million that would get those numbers. Giroud cost 12 million. He probably was getting these kind of numbers. So, yeah, Lacazette, it's not enough. It's not enough, man. D Solo, Wagwan, Big C, Brixton in the house. Big up South London in the cut. Godfrey, big up for the super chat, bro. He said, you read the tweet from Sandine about Edouard. Thank you very much. You lead me in nicely there, because I have it waiting for you. When you used to watch them programs, them cooking programs, they go, we're going to cook this, but here's one I made earlier and it's all ready and cooked. Well, don't worry. Sam Dean, there you go. Odsonne Edouard. It's all there waiting for you. The story says Odsonne Edouard's agency. Now, Odsonne Edouard has moved agent. His new agent is Kieran Tierney's agent. So obviously that makes people think as well Arsenal have a chance. Now, when you read all of this story from Sam Dean, who's usually quite good in the Telegraph, he claims that Arsenal are looking to sell Eddie Nketiah and Lacazette this summer. The club want to, obviously, Balogun 4-year contract set to be announced. The plan for Arsenal is to have Aubameyang, sign a younger striker in Odsonne Edouard, and have Balogun as the third choice striker, as the young player who will maybe play in the cups and will be an impact player. I've got to admit, if Arsenal can get Odsonne Edouard, I would take a chance on him and move Lacazette on. I believe he's 23. He scored a lot of goals in Scotland. French under 21 player. And I would take a chance on him now. He's got a year left on his contract. Celtic need to cash in on him this summer. They can't afford to let him run down the deal. It's believed they'll take between 15 to 20 million. The rumours saying around 18 million to get him. 18 million in this day and age for a striker, even potential. You know, Ivan Toney in the Championship, they're saying 30 to 40 million. I'd rather buy this guy for 18 million. It's worth a chance. It is still a gamble because he could come from Scotland and not cut it, you know. Like John says, I don't think Edouard is the one, though. I mean, all I would say, John, give me a name. Give me a name of a striker that you feel like he would be the one. Now, don't get me wrong, because VK saying, have you watched him? I've watched him a few times. I don't think he's unbelievable. I don't watch him and come away going, wow, what a player. I honestly don't. But I look at him and I think, got an eye for goal. And he's got potential. You can improve him. He's got movement. He's young. And, yeah, I wouldn't mind taking a chance for 18 million. Patson Dakar. I mean, listen, I haven't seen too much of him. I know he scored a lot of goals. I believe he plays in Austria. I think he's top scorer over there. But, yeah, I'm not sure how much he would cost either. Calvert-Lewin would cost 50 million plus, you know, easily. England international, probably going to go to the Euros. Got a few years left on his deal. Everton have got money as well. You know, I can't see that. Lautaro Martinez would cost 70, 80, 90 million. You know, Barcelona were linked with him. I think they quoted them 100 million euros. It just wouldn't happen. This is Arsenal, bro. We don't shop in Harrods. We shop in Lidl and Aldi, bro. We ain't buying them, man, on the top shelf. Haaland, I mean, come on. He's not coming to Arsenal. He'll go to Madrid or, you know, Man City or somewhere. Danny Ings, I do like Danny Ings. I mean, I think he's 28, 29. Would cost good money as well from a Premier League club. If you could get him cheap, but then you haven't got a lot of time on him, you know, a late 20-year-old again. Scotland is overrated. Moussa Dembele can't pour water down a funnel. Oh, my days. We shop in Poundland. That is one striker I definitely would not want, a Tammy Abraham. I hope you're not saying Edouard's a Tammy Abraham, because I do not like Abraham. Immobile, I mean, he's moved. Would he leave? He would be expensive as well. Aguero on a free. Problem is, what is he, 32? He's going to want a couple $100,000. He's going to want a couple of years on his deal. It's another old player with an injury problem. Listen, Aguero is one of the best strikers to ever play in the Premier League, but would you buy Aguero at this time and give him a massive contract? I wouldn't want Watkins. I'm honestly not the biggest fan of him. I think he's a decent player. He gets 10 goals a season. They paid, 32 million for him? They're going to want at least 15 to 20 million profit. Would you pay 45 to 50 million for Watkins? I wouldn't. I really wouldn't. Do a swap deal, Nketiah plus 15. I think Nketiah would probably do well at Celtic. Big up Algerian Gooners in the chat. Said, big up Curtis. Respect, bro. Hope you're well. Our boy Malin. Yeah, is he at PSV, I think. PSV. But, you know, these are not... They're not guys that we're certain of, you know. Ivan Toney, they want 40 million for a guy from the Championship, Omar. It's a big risk. It's a risk. Andre Silva, he's better than Edouard. Who's he playing for now? Andre. So didn't he go on loan from AC Milan somewhere? I heard he was doing well. How much would he cost? Origi? I mean, I wouldn't want Origi. Gabriel Jesus, I don't think they'd sell him. Ivan Toney would cost 50 million. I mean, 50 mil for a guy at the Championship. Oh, he's at Eintracht Frankfurt, yeah, and he's doing well there. I think he's on loan, isn't he, from AC? And I don't know how much he would cost. It's a very bad market for strikers. It really is. You know, sometimes you got to develop your own. I mean, Lukaku, I don't think Lukaku would come. And if he would, he'd cost 70, 80 million, man. He's going to win Serie A. I don't think we'd get him. Benzema, 32, back end of his career. I don't think he would come. Rafael Leao at AC. The options are not good. Clearly, the options are not good, man. It's a difficult market. Harry Kane, yeah, come and join your boyhood club. Andre Silva has outscored Haaland. I honestly didn't know that. Iheanacho's doing the business this year, man. All of a sudden, he's hit a hot streak. Haaland or Mbappe. I think we'd have to sell the whole stadium and the training ground to buy one of them. Can you check your DM, bro? Oh, apologies, man. Sorry, I will get back to you. I know you mentioned that the other day. I will check. Higuain, yeah, about 10 years too late. But hey, let's have a look at one or two more things. It will only be probably a 45-minute show today, not as long. Mikel Arteta. Mr. Arteta says Granit Xhaka can develop into a really good fullback. I mean, listen, don't get carried away, please. Good point by Zaha and play him as a striker. Is he prolific enough, though? That's the only thing. Get Fekir and Zaha. Bamford, I wouldn't want Bamford. Big up, Big C. I think Mikel Arteta's face says it all. Even he doesn't believe it. Arteta looks like he's just said that headline at the top, and then he can't believe what he's just said. Like, he's got the face like he's surprised himself. I said, Granit can develop into a really good fullback. Then the man looks shocked. You know what I mean? Dear me. You're right, man. A picture tells 1,000 words. If that isn't a delusional headline, then I'm sorry. Granit Xhaka isn't even a really good centre midfielder, and that's his natural position. So how you think he's developing into a really good left back, I will never know. This guy, man, what a face. What a picture. Told you, man, the Boris Johnson of football, you know, literally basing it on percentages. Yeah, he'll go, based on this 27%. 87% says that, you know, all kind of madness this guy comes out with. I just wanted to get into a couple of his quotes. He went on to say that on the injury to Saka, I don't know, he had to come off. He had discomfort in his thigh. It's the last thing we need. Let me zoom in a little bit on that for you guys, just so you can see it a little bit better. He said, on the current injury problems, I feel unlucky. I don't know the extent of Bakayo's injury. I think for certain, David Luiz will be out, Kieran will be out, and then with Martin Odegaard, we don't know. Bakayo, will see how he develops. Was asked about Smith Rowe and Odegaard, and he said, I don't know. I want to think yes, but if I'm honest, I don't know. I mean, that could leave us with no number 10 available for Thursday. You know, what do we do in that position? Can't wait for the Arteta out show. Listen, I hope I'm not doing it on Thursday. We need to be in that competition. I would fire him now with that statement. Wenger's final year delusion levels. Man's only just started. He's turned into a lunatic already. Man said context. Certain things don't need context. Xhaka can't be no really good left back. Yeah, play him left back at Anfield against Mo Salah. Then tell me how good he is at left back. I don't even know who he played against yesterday. Who was Sheffield United's right winger? I can't even tell you. He was then asked on whether Aubameyang will be back for Thursday. He said, I hope so, yes. He was unwell yesterday. He could not train. He could not be available today. But hopefully in the next day or two, he'll be feeling better and he will be available to get picked. So Aubameyang should be back. But as I said, will he start him? I think he'll put Aubameyang on the bench, to be honest. Now, the massive headline that came out of this press conference was that Mikel Arteta announced that he expects Kieran Tierney to be out for the season. He's saying now that it's more likely 6 weeks, which would take us to the end of May, which will pretty much take us to the Europa League final. He then would have to work on his fitness, and they expect Tierney to be out for the season, which is a massive, massive blow for Arsenal. Now, I'm at a point now where we need a solution to the problem. I think it's time to play Bukayo Saka at left back. I honestly do. I think Cedric is not as comfortable at left back. And I think if we're going to have any chance of winning this Europa League, I think you have to have somebody that's a lot more easy in that left back position. And I just don't think that playing Chambers or Bellerin at right back with Cedric at left back is a good enough defence to win the Europa League. I would just say to Saka, go and play left back until the end of the season. Because let's face it, Saka hasn't been great for the last month in these attacking positions. He's had a bit of a dip in form. And I think with Martinelli's emergence yesterday, looking like he's back at it, we've got Pepe as well. I think we've got enough in those wide areas to drop Saka back in. You can then play Saka at left back, Cedric right back, pick your centre-back pairing, whether it's Pablo Mari and Gabriel or Luis and Gabriel when he comes back. And I think you can go with Martinelli left wing and Pepe right wing, and then play Odegaard 10 and play your Aubameyang or Lacazette up front. And that's what I would go with. I mean, Saka and Martinelli on the left, you're going to have a long day if you're at right back playing against them two. That's not easy work. Do you know what I mean? You got Saka on the overlap with his left foot, who's basically a winger anyway, and then you got Martinelli cutting inside. I think that's a big left hand side. Promote Lopez. I mean, yeah, we haven't seen enough of him at the moment. Play our strongest. What do you say? Saka left, Martinelli left, Lacazette up front. I got no problem with that. Willian bench, man. I don't want to see Willian in these big games. Play him in the league against teams that we know we're going to brush. Do you know what I mean? I don't want to see Willian play. Two hungry young bucks, man. We need energy. The problem with Arsenal against Slavia Prague last Thursday, I mean, number one was the fact we missed sitters. But we didn't have enough energy. We didn't have enough people that can get the ball, can dribble, draw players to them, and you create space for other people. You're playing Willian and people like that out wide. Fullbacks know you ain't going to run at them. So for me, Saka is the solution at left back between now and the end of the season. Especially in the Europa League. In the league games, maybe you experiment, play free at the back, play Cedric left back, whatever. But on Thursday in the Europa League, like you said here, Cello, dynamism is needed. We need speed. Bread and cheese for lunch, man. Bread is bread and cheese is cheese. That goes down for me as one of the funniest headlines. Like, I mean, it's unbelievable. Man said bread is bread and cheese is cheese. Like, it makes sense, man. It makes sense. I suppose bread is bread and cheese is cheese, eh? ESR or Odegaard for me, but I just hope that one of them is available because it looks like we may not even have a number 10 available for Thursday. Jose is epic. All hail the legend. I mean, listen, he's definitely going downhill as a manager at the top level, but one thing's for certain, his press conferences and interviews are probably the best in the game. He's box office, man. He's absolutely box office. Curtis, I want to see energy in the Arsenal team on Thursday. I'm telling you, pure energy I want to see. Put Saka at left back. Play Pepe. Trust him. Why don't he pick him in these big games? Play Pepe right wing and play Martinelli on the left. If you're going to play Lacazette, then fine, play Lacazette. Well, this is a good question, Ken. Story going around today saying that Arsenal are looking at Jesse Lingard as a number 10 alternative if we can't get Martin Odegaard. Now, I want to ask the question to you guys in the comments, right? Would you take Jesse Lingard at Arsenal? It's believed he could be available for as little as £15 million. Year left on his deal. 8 goals in 9 games at West Ham. Back in the England squad. And, saying that other clubs are looking at him. would be our best player, to be fair. The thing is, I think a lot of Arsenal fans, have got a thing with Lingard that kind of, this guy came and moonwalked at the Emirates and turned it into the dance floor, So how could we take... I mean, the thing is, Eddie, though, you're saying you kidding me. If he was, somebody who just come to the league, gone to West Ham, like Souček's doing at West Ham, if Lingard had come from France, he had 8 goals in 9 games, and he was doing what he's doing at West Ham, a lot of Arsenal fans would go, yeah, I'd take him. But we've psychologically got this thing that it's Lingard. We didn't like him at Man U. He wasn't great at Man U, but he's just in a good run of form. So I understand why a lot of Arsenal fans would say no. I've got to be honest. I wouldn't go for him. I'd leave him. He might as well sign for West Ham. He did. He mocked us. But let's face it, scoring a goal and celebrating, it is what it is, man, It is what it is. I'm sure other players have celebrated against us. He's 29, yeah. Do you know what? I didn't even realise he was 29. Did not even realise. He suits West Ham so much that I think he's better off staying there. You got to stay at clubs sometimes when you're happy, and he really suits West Ham. I did not realise. Oh, he's 28. He turns 29 this year, though. You're right. 29 this year. Yeah, I wouldn't go anywhere near him. He's on big money as well. He's on big money. Mark, apologies. I don't think I actually read out your previous super chat. Although I did highlight it. Apologies for that. Big up Mark Neighbour. He said he would be a breath of fresh air. Great for the morale and dressing room. He's a point to prove. Decent for 15 million. Nothing to do with dancing at the Emirates. Arsenal fan base, we're a bit emotional, man. I don't think they would forgive him for that. So big up Mark, man. Thank you for your super chat. Lingard is just on a hot streak. That's the problem, innit? He hasn't produced over a season for a while, really. So you always got that concern that, is this just another Pepe Cisse? I always call it Pepe Cisse because I remember when he went to Newcastle, he scored goal of the season. He was scoring. Everything he hit went in, and within 6 months, he couldn't hit a barn door. Pepe Cisse, man, if you remember him, old school Newcastle striker. Lingard is 28, not 29. He'll be 29 in December. Yeah, I wouldn't go for him, to be honest. Would you take Mitrovic? He hasn't been good this season. I would like a different kind of striker to be able to come off the bench in that kind of role where, last 15, you're struggling to get a goal. Throw on a 6'1", 6'2" striker who's physical, who's a beast, Big up Paddy. He said, yes, Curtis, bro, can you shout me out? There you go, Paddy, man. Appreciate you tuning in. Cisse ball was a madness, not going to lie, that outside the foot shot. Bro, he won goal of the season, outside of the foot. Lob Peter Cech. He's playing in Turkey now, fair enough. But he come in like a house on fire, and within about 6 months, he was done. If we're not getting Mourinho, then we shouldn't go for Lingard. Giroud on a free next year. Nah, he can't come back, man. Not after the way he trolled us when he won the Europa League. If we sign him, he will flop, guarantee. Yeah, so personally, most people don't want Lingard. Personally, Big C, I think Aubameyang, Martinelli and Balogun is better. I would rather they develop. And this is what I mean. We may not have to buy a striker. We could have Aubameyang, Balogun as the young buck, and Martinelli, I think, can eventually become a striker. Steph said, why would he downgrade? To be fair, yeah, West Ham are doing the business at the moment. They won again against Leicester, just about hung on after nearly throwing away another 3-goal lead. We'll quickly look at the table before I get out of here, people. Let you enjoy the rest of your Monday. Premier League table. Arsenal are up to 9th, people. We're on page 1. I don't have to click next and go on to page 2 to find Arsenal. Can you remember Asprilla, bro? I used to do his celebration when I was a kid. Cartwheel and then 3 punches. Tino Asprilla, bad boy player. Remember, I think he got a hat-trick against Barcelona. Good player, this Alexander Isak. He's at Sociedad, I believe. He's young as well. He's young. Man said, yes, my manager. Oh, man, yeah. All them shouts, yeah. We're 9th in the league. We're 7 points off 6th, which is pretty much what Europa League spot will be. 7th could be a Europa League spot. If one of those top 4 win the FA Cup, I believe, then an extra Europa League spot goes to 7th. So we could do with like a Man City winning the FA Cup or something. Because we're only 4 points off Tottenham in 7th. And we haven't got a bad run of games from this point, to be honest. I think Chelsea are the biggest club or team that we've got left to play. 7th is Conference League, is it? Okay. I thought it said it went to 7th if one of the top 4 won the FA Cup, but I could be wrong. If 7th is Conference League, I don't want nothing to do with that Conference League. Keep us out of that rubbish. I don't want nothing to do with it. Big up John Layout with a super chat. Thank you for your support as always, bro. Said, would you take a striker who's a bagsman from the Portuguese league, or would you take someone who's doing bits in the champ? It's a tricky one, isn't it? Because every now and then you get a João Felix from Portugal. Now, you wouldn't want to miss out on him to get someone from the champ. It's a tough one. He'd have to be getting big numbers in either one of those leagues, Lingard can't get a game at Man U because of Bruno. We are Arsenal. We need a Bruno, not Man United scraps. It's a good point. I'd rather finish 10th than Conference League. Totally agree. That is the most embarrassing cup competition that you could probably ever play in. Any Conference League streams, bruv. I mean, would I actually stream those games? We'd be playing against teams I've never heard of. Like, you know what I mean? AFT VFC could probably play in that competition. But yeah, we're up to 9th. Yeah, we could win a trophy at last. We're up to 9th. We're only 4 points off 7th, 7 points off 6th, which is Liverpool. I don't see us catching Liverpool or Chelsea or West Ham. A very close battle. It's so frustrating when you look at it and think we're 10 points behind West Ham. When you look through this season, we've easily thrown, 10, 11 points away this season when you look back at the game. So, yeah, it's very frustrating. Very, very frustrating. Rafinha at Leeds is a baller. I would take him at Arsenal. Definitely would take him. He's looked very good. Amazing to see Leeds go to Manchester City and turn them over, and we go there and just surrender. Thursday afternoon at 2 p.m. Them kickoff times are going to be nuts, bruv. Arsenal versus Wi-Fi passwords. That's it. Teams you've never heard of on pitches that look like they're parks, Curtis, man, I'm really nervous. Can't sleep. Any tips? Bruv, watch the first 30 minutes of Arsenal v Sheffield United. You'll be asleep within no time. That game was a snore fest first 30 minutes until we scored, But listen, Thursday's the big one. I think we can win it. We'll be building up to it as the week progresses. I'll get a couple of guests on this week. And listen, I'll be back tomorrow, people. We'll have a watch-along tomorrow night. PSG against Bayern Munich. And, do you know what? It was funny last week. I did the 2 watch-alongs of the Champions League. And I watched that game on Tuesday, PSG Bayern. What a high standard of football. Quick, fast, brilliant football. Then we went to Wednesday. Real Madrid tore Liverpool apart. And then you looked at Arsenal on Thursday and you just thought, what a poor game this is compared to them. We are miles off that level. If we did get into the Champions League, we need to spend at least 100 million just to even compete with some of these teams, But listen, big week ahead, people. It's all in the build-up to Thursday. And I will see you all tomorrow. Join me for the stream tomorrow. I will do a daytime show tomorrow as well. And then PSG versus Bayern in the evening. Enjoy the rest of your day, people. If you're in England, enjoy the gym, enjoy the pub, and enjoy shopping. Take care, everyone, and I'll see you tomorrow. Bless.